Roma is Mexican director Alfonso Cuarón's new film, which chronicles a year in the life of a middle-class family in Mexico City from 1970 to 1971. First, the positive things about Roma. Roma is epic. It is a gigantic and majestic film, and it has to be seen in the cinema. This film was shot on the digital equivalent of 70mm film, which is just incredibly wide and big and just epic. And watching Roma was really an epic and awesome experience. Cinematographically, this film had some beautiful and captivating moments. Due to the epic scope of the shooting format, some bits were really beautiful and captivating in terms of staging and cinematography and direction. They were really awesome. Like this party scene in particular, and another scene in the fields where the camera is panning. Some shots were very, very beautiful, but not all. Alfonso Cuarón shot this film himself, and the cinematography at certain parts was really beautiful, as I just mentioned, but it's mainly panning shots or static shots, and it's really no Lubeski cinematography. So the cinematography isn't particularly incredible or innovative as Lubeski would shoot, but some bits were really powerful and really beautiful. Apart from the epic nature of the film itself, the other best thing about this film is the sound work. There's this one scene that happens in the ocean where the audience is just fully captivated and taken over by the incredible sound work of the waves and of the sea, which makes that moment such a real and visceral and scary experience. Really, really amazing sound work. Roma is not entirely an autobiographical film. The film is based on Alfonso Cuarón's childhood memories of Mexico City in 1970 and 71, and Alfonso had every last detail reconstructed to as it actually was in those years. However, there is one moment, I think it's the hospital moment, but I'm not quite sure, that apparently is actually a digital special effect. It wasn't actually built, so it was digitally reconstructed, but everything else is apparently real and actually reconstructed to as it was at that time. Roma isn't fully an autobiographical film because although there are scenes with a supposed young Alfonso Cuarón, but no child in this family is actually called Alfonso, so we just have to assume that one of the children is Alfonso. So there are many scenes with a young Alfonso. However, the film's plot is really about the Indian servant of Alfonso's family, and most of the film is about her story. So because Roma is mainly about the story of this Indian servant, except for Cleo, which is her name, we don't really connect that well to the rest of the family, and it's really only Cleo who I actually connected with. The other characters, I sort of observed them from a distance, really. So my main problem I had with Roma is that the film itself is not that interesting. I mean, it does captivate you, and you want to keep watching, but just the story is not the most interesting ever, but some bits, cinematographically or narratively, were really powerful, especially at the end. It's really powerful. But overall, as a full product, it's not that interesting of a film to watch. In my opinion, one of the biggest faults of Roma was that it was shot digitally. Roma, which is all based on memories, should have been shot on film to have that warmth and that vintage magic feel, which the film completely needed. And it being digital, it just felt cold. Had it been shot on film, Roma would have been a completely different and breathtakingly beautiful experience. The Russian critic Anton Dolin compared this film to Amarcord and said that it's as good as Amarcord. For me, that is not so. Where Amarcord is fully perfect and brilliant in every way, in every shot, in every scene, Roma is really not like that. Roma is just a film that contains great moments, but overall is not that amazing. So Roma is no Amarcord or even no Murmur of the Heart and no The Squid and the Whale. However, it is closer to Louis Malle's Au revoir les enfants. In terms of power, those movies are quite similar. So in my personal opinion, Roma is not Alfonso Cuarón's masterpiece. His masterpiece remains Children of Men, which is just absolutely perfect in every way and one of the greatest things that the cinema has ever given us. So overall, Roma is a great and epic product, and a really interesting time capsule of Mexico City in 1970 and 71. Thank you for watching, and see you next Friday.